Hello, everybody. It's Friday night, and it is time for the Weekender once again. And on this week's show, we check out the brand new ODST preview from Mantic for Halo Flashpoint. We also take a look at the beta rules for Wargames Atlantic's Death Fields. And we look at some terrible kids doing terrific goblins. On top of all of that, we also have a prize of a £50 voucher from Wayland Games. One lucky viewer picked from below the comments on the video on tabletop.com will win that voucher. Otherwise, sit back, relax, because your weekend starts here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weekender. This week, I'm joined by the delightful Ben.
Hello.
The delicious Justin.
Ooh, I get to be tasty for once.
Yeah, because everybody licks your head. That's why. You taste that
no, don't bring that back. That hasn't happened in years.
Tastes of barbecue.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
I don't know.
Of an intergalactic traveler. So.
Oh no, I had a weird one at a con one year where a friend snuck up behind me and just ran their tongue right up the back of my head.
Nice.
Oh.
Went to the side of my head and went salty.
Delightful.
She was a weird girl.
This is how we get COVID.
Oh no! This was before the worldwide lurgy.
Oh, okay. There you go.
We all blame that poor man in that wet market in China. In actual fact, it started somewhere very different.
At a random anime convention in Belfast, Northern Ireland.
That would make a lot of sense.
Patient zero.
Yeah.
You should send people in there to cull them. They need to be culled. Nine-tailed cat people. Anyway, I digress. We're here to bring you through a week's worth of hobby fun and games from the industry as a whole. Depending on how you feel about stuff. We've got stuff.
We like stuff.
We've got historical stuff. I was
going to say, just a quick thing to begin this. No Games Workshop. Not a single bit of Games Workshop.
Don't tell them that.
At all.
Of course, they need a rest. I'm sorry, their design team is probably heaped in a corner going, please.
They don't have a design team. Off. They've got an AI with access to a file. Let's go.
Well, fine, then it's power supply is blown out.
For Skaven. And it just throws 5 bits of ones and zeros at a wall. And then all of a sudden you've got wispy smoke and a rat face. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So what? They just take pictures of staffers and go, turn this into fantasy creature X.
Don't even do that. Don't want to give people credit or image rights. It's all generic bits. Add more wispy smoke. It seems to be key these days. How much wispy smoke can I add? Can add all of it. Yay! Cracking. Anyway. Yes, so we have a whole host of stuff for you. Apparently without Games Workshop. Oh, I look forward to the comments congratulating you for no GW on the premiere, Ben, which I'll be reading right now. There we go. They all are. Thank you.
Hello, myself. Yeah.
Cheers, all of you too.
Future you cannot speak to past you, but past you can speak to future you.
That's what they tell me.
I've watched Tenet. I know what's going on.
Nobody knows what's going on with Tenet.
No, they don't. No.
And the more they try and explain it, the less I understand it. There's a game.
I think that might be the point.
It's pointless indeed. The key is to put in womps every so often, just like Inception. Womp, womp, and then everything goes backwards. And you're okay. Thank you. I'm now deaf. But there we go. Shall we crack on with the news?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it might be an idea.
Coming to you from the center of Northwestern Europe. Covering board games, war games, card games, and all that you love. It's the news.
All right then, Benjamino. Big bit of news coming out of Mantic regarding Halo.
Oh, yes. So anyone who watched your interview with Ronnie last week will have heard him doing things like whoosh and kablam and things and was like, what does that mean? Nobody knows. And then this week they announced that they're going to be doing pre-orders, pachow, from a brand new expansion coming out later this year. So it's coming out in October, which isn't that far away, which will include the badasses that are the ODST from Halo in your games of Halo Flashpoint. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, ODST, they come from Halo 3 ODST, which is actually based during the timeline of Halo 2, Pazang, when New Mombasa is getting attacked by the Covenant. Now, the Covenant ship in there, when it goes pachow and tries to escape, look at all these sound effects I'm putting in.
It's good.
It sends a wave effectively around it, effectively destroy most of the city. And that also displaced the ODST as they were flying down into New Mombasa to try and help Master Chief and his badass Marine friends from stopping the Covenant. The aim of the game, therefore, was to play as one of the members of the ODST, Rookie, who was going out to try and find the rest of his team and work out what other shenanigans were going on in New Mombasa. Now, this set is going to allow you to play as the ODST, who are super cool, not quite as badass as Spartans, but they're just regular humans who are exceptionally good at their job, which is a pretty good thing in its own
But
right.
these are the special operations.
The special ops. Yes.
Yeah.
You've got your Marines, who are your grunts. You've got your ODST, who are your real badasses. And then you've got your Spartans, who have been genetically modified to be badasses. So,
fair enough.
Which is the way to go. So this new
unenhanced.
set... yes.
All natural human.
So this new set, which is Feet First into Hell, will contain 16 new ODST figures, which will come with a variety of different weapon options, as you might expect, and all that kind of thing. Although, of course, when it comes to Halo Flashpoint, the weapon option that the character is armed with doesn't necessarily matter based on the gameplay and all that kind of thing. It just gives you some nice alternative poses for your miniatures, which is always fun. You will also get the lovely new game board and terrain representing New Mombasa. So we've had a bunch of different terrain sets already for Halo Flashpoint. We've obviously had the one from the core set, which represents kind of like a deathmatch style Spartan training facility. The one with Rise from the Banished represented like a banished outpost from Halo Infinite and Halo 5 and stuff like that. And then now with this one, we have the representation of New Mombasa itself. So you get that idea of that kind of like African city style affair going on. You even have all the big lights and signage and things like that you would expect from the video game translated over into the miniatures game, the board game, however you want to go about it. You also get all of the cards, tokens, all sorts of other bits and pieces that you need to start playing the game as well. All of these can then obviously be integrated with what you already have for Halo Flashpoint at the same time. So it all mixes and matches together. There'll be a full gameplay expansion booklet in there as well, so it'll guide you through how to use the ODST in your games. No specifics on that at the moment, but you had some ideas on that.
I have many ideas on this one, yes.
Yeah. Which we'll get to in a second. But a chock-a-block set full of awesome bits and pieces, just to cap off the kind of stuff you're going to get when this lands. There's also going to be, because the pre-orders will be alive right now when you're watching this. It was out earlier in the week, so you'll be able to dive in and check this out, grab it. There's also the opportunity to get your hands on some limited edition figures as well. So fans of the game will know Buck and Dare. So you'll be able to, Buck, voiced by Nathan Fillion. So you'll be able to pick these characters up and stick them into your games. There will also be regular versions of both Buck and Dare coming out later on down the line as well as part of their regular retail lineup. But this will be your first chance to get those particular versions of the sculpts of the two characters. But yeah, looks like a pretty decent set and a really nice way to expand Halo as it is. We know Shay was particularly interested in ways they could take the game in the future. But yeah, you were having some thoughts about how they.
I was having many thoughts because I didn't see these pictures initially. I seen the trailer, and at the end of the trailer, this picture comes up, but they are not painted. And I was sitting there going, "Oh, what figures are what?" And going, "Oh, it looks like you've got essentially 2 8-man squads in the board gamey plastic, but then Captain Bucky O'Hare at the front there was in a different color. I'm going, oh, they look like they're resins." So I was already going, are they going to be a master crafted resin? Which, by the way, I'm absolutely adoring. Every time I open a box that contains some of that, it's gorgeous. Nice. Yeah. So I don't know if it is or if they're going to stick with just alternative sculpts, because I know Atriox
Yes, the leader of the band.
Well, that me. It's only taken me like 2.5 months to learn that, because I still change his name every time we play. He has an alternative sculpt in the Banish faction starter, because these aren't games, these are expansions, so they don't contain the rules. Although I will get to that in a moment. But Atriox has got a different sculpt in that faction starter. There's going to be a different one released later on, but he is just in hard board gamey plastic. He's not in resin.
Right.
So it might just have been that there was like a prototype sculpt / casts, that they've done for it. So anyway, we've got the nice printed ones. That's okay.
Yeah. Although it does look like someone's broke out the crayons whenever they're deciding who gets what color. Do they just throw them in a pile and people were just grabbing to go, I get this color?
Get these markings, yeah.
Do it like the US Marines, folks.
Well, I have no idea how the US Marines do it. Anyway, so with the set, you don't get the rules, but the rules are available on the app now. You can get the basic rules for free. In fact, if you signed up for Mantic's newsletter, you have been given access to the rules for free.
Yeah, I think Ronnie was saying that in the interview, wasn't he?
Otherwise, they're out and about on the app, so you can get them there, basic, or if you pay the subscription, if you want to do the other bits and pieces on there, like more complicated list building and stuff, then there's a monthly sub for that, is what it is. But you get the cards for each of the members in there, and you probably get multiples, because the way they've added the list building in from war games, so you can take multiple types with the same weapon, but you're capped. So you can have like 2 types of soldier with the same weapon loadout.
Right.
I'm assuming these will be broke down something similar, because I can see things like captain, fire break, special purpose trooper, assault, whatever. So you'll get multiple cards for those, because there's a bit of play in there. Currently, the way Halo Flashpoint works is you've got about 4 per team. Singali mercenaries, banished, and Spartans. And because they're big hulking things, in most cases, they are limited to the amount can be in a cube, because this is played on an 8x8 cube. There's no tape measures, no measuring required. You just have to be able to count cubes.
I love the cubing.
It is great. It makes life so much easier. But because they're big hulking things, you only get 2.
Yeah.
Halo's based on Dead Zone as a core mechanic, and it's based on regular 28mm troopers, which allows you to play with about 8 per side as a standard team in Dead Zone, and you can get 4 little fellows in a cube standard. And I'm assuming that's how this is going to be balancing. So
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You'll have a team of 8. You'll be able to mob up more to make best use of the fact that you are weak, puny human, and other things are giant space apes or genetically engineered lunatics. So when you see one of them in a cube by itself, you just dive in with 4 guys and start beating them like that meme. Just on the ground, bam, 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 bam. Loads of them. So yeah.
One thing I would love to see for this is Mantic to do like a terrain set in the lovely hard plastic like they did for Dead Zone. I think it would look so good.
You never know, I suppose. They do have their terrain.
It does seem like a game that's doing well.
They did some scatter in hard plastic.
Yes.
Currently,
like,
these
weapon
sets
drops and things
are all about playing out of the box as quickly as possible. So there are Kyard that you can just pop out and assemble and then deconstruct, because they are all. We have a better
flat
picture.
pack it away back into the.
Yeah, you can see there possibly the ridges. So those are just interlocking sort of view sections.
But as like a future standalone set, something extra to add to it, I would love to see it. Don't know if they ever will.
Crate booster type thing.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. They've got plenty of terrain crate out there already in hard plastic. If you want to use the plastic, you can. In fact, I think you see some of it in the trailer we've just watched, lurking in the background in a few places. So they're standing amongst some of the terrain crate scatter and bits and pieces like that. But yeah, I think this one is going to be interesting. I'm pretty sure Ronnie may or may not have said Banshees are coming as well. So bikes and skimmers and stuff are
spicy.
are available in Dead Zone.
Okay.
So putting them into Halo is not game breaking by any stretch of the imagination. Being able to
A
suddenly
banshee just flying around.
being able to suddenly do donuts like go 6 or 8 cubes in one turn and then fire at somebody. I mean, bikes and skimmers and stuff are lunatics.
I'm left to wonder, is it a specific miniature that you're going to have to take in your team, or is it one that you just put on the table and anyone can jump into and go boogaloo?
Oh no,
on?
it'll be something that you're taking.
Okay.
Because you're paying the points for bringing a big bike, essentially, or in this case, donutting skimmer.
Yeah. There's certainly a lot. Well, oh my God, yeah. You can have banshees, you have ghosts flying around. You have the banished bikes with the big gears on the front of them, churning things up.
No reason why you can't. You just
warthogs.
Well, but half the time with your warthog, you're halfway up a wall, slowly tipping over because you can't get the wheels to all point in the right direction.
And
you've gone sideways. That's just start crawling up something like a weird ATV and then falling over backwards.
All of this Halo is making me want to go back and watch the old web series Red versus Blue.
Oh man, it's so good.
It's not a Puma.
I painted up my Spartans from the Recon set, and I played a game, and I was just quoting Red versus Blue constantly while I was playing the game. So,
see, the Red versus Blue I'm aware of is, I think, French plasticine cats.
Oh,
that's the Red versus Blue from my youth.
Slightly different.
Blip, meow, blip.
Not quite the machinima.
A load of our older audience are going, I know that, and everybody else is going, what?
But sort of off the back of this, I think what's quite nice is that they've gone down the route of doing the ODST and done these special side mission characters effectively to the main storyline of Halo. I don't see any reason why they won't do Shay's beloved noble team from Halo Reach and stuff like that. So I would imagine it's probably on the card.
Were they ODST? Was that what he was talking about, or were they something
Spartans,
different?
You see,
right.
They're Spartans,
oh, okay.
But very different variants of Spartan. So, which was clarified in the comments as well.
Was it?
So,
well done, whoever clarified that. I played Halo,
but yeah,
that's where my knowledge ends.
Also, if they're doing ODST, maybe they'll do Marines, and we'll get Johnson, Sergeant Johnson, in there as well, which would be pretty badass with his cigar and everything like that. So that'd be cool. Then grunts, and then jackals. And then hunters. Oh my God, they can do everything. I'd be happy.
Okay, Ben, calm down. You're going full turbo nerd.
I don't see any reason not to be brutally honest. Why not? Go ham.
Considering the Mantic have actually made a legitimately successful Halo game, unlike the other ones that have come out.
Fair.
No reason not to keep riding this warthog.
A lot of people were saying when they initially released it, and it was just based on Reach, whatever it is.
Well, yeah, the newest
wasn't it the training ground sort of idea they had?
So an awful lot of people going, not sure, not sure where this is going, but clearly they looked at it and went, well, this has a basis in the game that people will be familiar with. You can play your Red versus Blue, and then slowly expanding makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the good Master Renton has stared deep into the void to see the future.
It's like that.
And it's calling back, which is
stared deep into the void of 115 charges there. That's Man City fan you. Anyway, yes, so Halo available to pre-order right now. And then there'll be a regular version later on down the line. Same as the Banished. Rise of the Banished is obviously out and about, but I think the regular retail release is still a little ways out. If you don't want all of it, you just
goes through the cycles of print runs and everything as well, doesn't it? So
right. Moving on into the world of historical and some news coming out of Battlefront regarding the pre-orders for the new Flames of War starter set. Hit the Beach has gone away, and
it has. In
retaliation, Festern Europe is brutalizing everybody with T-Greys. Filthy T-Greys. So this will be in the new 2-player starter set.
Yes.
For the, I'm going to say 4th edition.
It's 4th edition.
In Western Europe. Obviously, it comes with everything you need to get started to play. So the full rules in little A5 booky format, your dice, your tokens, and then 2 forces. So you have the delightful Germans with their filthy tigers. They are filthy tigers.
Apparently, there's not enough tigers in there, according to the comments.
There are too many tigers.
I mean, tigers are brutal deluxe.
Yeah.
2 tigers is too many.
I will say, it does look like a nicely balanced setup.
It all depends on whether or not you get your Hellcats around the side of those tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, well, the fact that you outgun the tigers is interesting. But yeah, 2 platoons of German grenadiers, their command, 2 tigers and 2 anti-tank guns line up against a mobile assaulting force of Americans, which has got the M18 Hellcats, 4 of them, as you can see, on either flank. Then some Shermans, upgunned Shermans with 76s, I think. And then a platoon of airborne to support. Flash, click, 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 thunder. So yes, everything you need to get in there. It's an interesting setup. It's not dissimilar to the previous one, as has been noted by somebody. The delightful little doodlebug is gone. There used to be the V1 with on launcher, which was a really nice objective piece / terrain piece. Don't know what's happened to that. Clearly, it wasn't part of a sprue belonging to anybody else, and they've just gone, well, we're not doing that anymore. It's a lot of effort.
I think it was its own sprue that came in the box.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't part of a tool that they were injecting.
Okay.
So
somebody lost it down the back of the server.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, running diddlebugs just for these sets is probably additional time and effort that they weren't bothered with. But you know, it's a shame to see it go. However, the rest of it is respectable enough. The lovely little greyhounds are in there as well. I almost forgot those. So you've got those as your company command for the Americans, for a bit of recon, so you can go and find where the tigers are, and more importantly, where those packs are lurking at the back before you get exploded all over creation. But yeah, it's a decent set. People will have their opinions on whether or not there should be tigers in it. Obviously, I do. I think the tigers are
they're iconic,
hellishly imbalanced.
Well, here's the thing, Jerry. This box is made as a recruitment tool.
Yes.
You know, for the longest time, Hit the Beach was one of the best ways to jump into a game that we had ever seen.
Yes.
So seeing this, it'll be interesting to see how people adopt it, because it's not designed for the veteran players. It's designed to point to your mate and go, look, if you guys want to jump in, grab that, and off we go.
I mean, the contents are not dissimilar to Hit the Beach in a massive way.
One thing I was thinking about it with, and you see it more often than not now with start boxes, is you tend to get like a little bit of terrain in there as well. And obviously that doesn't necessarily work with the way that Gale Force 9 and Battlefront do stuff, because their terrain is all pre-colored. Yeah. And more often than not, it's part of their Battlefield in the Box range. So it would be weird for that to be in the box, but it feels like it just feels a bit odd because you see everything that you've got there on the table and you're like, and now I need to go and buy some terrain to fit this, which is a bit of a shame.
They haven't said definitely, but they did do 2D terrain previously. So you had forest, some buildings,
some walls,
and some wall sections, and possibly a flat hill. So,
I didn't see that listed on the contents.
No, but it may be under the card part.
Oh, possibly.
Because they did just say cards and tokens and stuff. So it's potentially in there.
Maybe I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's in there, because it does make it easy just to throw it on the kitchen table and go.
I mean, if you're just starting off, if you don't already have terrain, if you've got books and tins and stuff,
if it does the job.
It all does the same thing to get you started.
Cut up a cereal box.
Yep. If you got a cereal box, you can start making your own buildings as well.
An L-shaped terrain. The tournament play, right? Yeah.
Well, that's all you need. I will say, if you are, if you're unaware, Battlefront's websites are moving, and the old websites are going to be killed, possibly very, very soon indeed. So, flamesofwar.com is where they've been for years. Battlefront, Flames of War, and Gale Force 9's websites are all being taken out behind the bike shed and shot.
Everyone's going to have to change their bookmarks.
Yeah, so battlefront-community.com is going to be the one-stop shop, essentially, for all of them. So if you're looking for it, it all lives here now. and they've already started populating it with bits and pieces. So if you're in there, look, Hands of Force, they could have had those on the beach. I'm just saying. It's all there, and what's available and what's coming up. You too can stick tiny bits of sea foam to your half tracks. I've done that.
Another thing I'd heard when this was announced, and we sort of talked about it in the news and things, is that everyone was like, "Oh, good, another European battlefield set," and they were like, "Why couldn't they've gone to the Pacific?" And in my head, I was like, "Oh, that would be nice," and then I was like, "Yeah, but I don't think people." Sorry to say this, I don't think people care that much about the Pacific, considering that Normandy and stuff exists.
Well, if you think for a virgin player, a new player, what are they going to recognize quicker? Normandy or somewhere in the South Pacific that they've possibly never heard of.
Yeah.
And it's the easy end for a new player. It's not designed for a veteran. I'll say it again.
Yeah. You want the Americans and then the Americans/Brits and the Germans going up against each other. Probably don't care about the Japanese, to be honest. I mean, that kind of thing.
The other thing is also they've already got the tools for these in plastic. I'm fairly certain.
True. That is
fairly certain the Imperial Japanese and the
is a mixture of stuff probably.
And the Marines are currently not hard plastics. Also, you won't be able to put in Tigers.
That's true.
You wouldn't be able to put in any tanks at all, really.
I mean, I agree. For a new player, you just want to feed them some good plastics.
Yeah. Well,
that's easy to build.
As long as it's a comparable force, and their forces aren't a million miles away there.
Cool.
Dig the Germans in, and hopefully you don't get killed up. It's the way to go. Available to pre-order now as well, with a release in August. So if you're fancying getting into 50 mil, it is a very good way of doing it, has to be said.
Not long to go.
And then, I mean, once you've got the figures, you can use them for whatever game. Likewise, if you fancy doing North Africa, there's a whole host of stuff being rejigged for the new edition of Bold Action as well. Justin.
Yeah, so not to be outdone, our good friends at Warlord Games have taken...
It's pronounced.
I was trying to say it. Up my spine every time he does it. But yeah, so Warlord Games have went back to Gentleman's War to revamp the starter set a little bit to actually bring it up to date with the new edition of the rules. So what we're seeing is the British 8th versus the Africa Corps. And in the box, I believe it is... We're getting, if I'm all right, 12 British infantry, 12 Africa Corps infantry. We're getting a couple of armored cars, a bit of terrain, and the new rules with all of your tokens, pin markers and stuff, and your order dice as well. So this is basically what has to be done whenever a new starter or when a new rule set comes out. You have to update all of your starter sets to bring it up and make it current. And Gentleman's War is, one of those starter sets that's just a really nice, easy end for everybody.
But I'm confused. Because that's not a tiger.
We have tiger at home.
Enjoy your Ustifkavas 222233.
SDKFZ 222 or SDKFZ 223.
That's the right way of saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. You also get the Humber armored car, which comes in Mark II and I believe Mark IV variant.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So really nice setup. You've got all of the basics you need to get the core mechanics of the game down without getting anything stupid.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had a chance at it, but when I was playing it, the German armor was just ridiculous in this game.
Right. No more ridiculous than any of the armor for any of the other nations. My biggest problem is all of the armor is often too powerful for a 28mm game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something a lot of people have said, because of the scale of this game, seeing more than like a tank or a armored car is way too much for that engagement.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you could get away with an armored car, but seeing tanks rolling in through such a tight engagement, you probably wouldn't have seen.
Yeah. One of the other things that I quite liked about what they've added in here is that they've got the starter set, the new starter set for Bulge, and the intro set. You had that quick start guide in there for sort of how to start playing the game, how to build your models, that kind of thing. They've done the same thing with this. Now, obviously, the Gentleman's War box set is from the last edition. So it's essentially a reboxing of that, but with the new rulebook and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So they've instead just put in like a QR code so you can get a downloadable version of that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are looking to dive in and this be like your actual legitimate from the beginning starter set, they still have that quick start guide included as part of the box. So you've got some options in there as well, which is quite nice. I also quite like it because when Bulge came out, people were like, oh, this is really awesome. But then they were like, oh, but it's all winter. So if you don't like the winter stuff, they've kind of gone the opposite and they've got the other extreme,
tropical,
extreme heat. But, it gives you something different to do. And also, people have enjoyed, North Africa-based TV shows, the name of which I can't remember what it's called now.
SAS Rogue Heroes.
That's the one. So people have enjoyed that recently. This could be a nice in for you to dive in and start picking that up and having some fun with it. So
I will say I do like the scale of the forces in this box because there's enough there to give you the game without overwhelming a new player, which can happen sometimes. Yeah. You get this big box of wonderful, shiny goodness and newness. You build it on, it's just like, oh God, I have so much to paint now.
Yeah. Whereas having, as you say, like a dozen infantry per side and an armored car,
vehicle, let's go.
Yeah, gives you the basics of how to fight as a squad, do your shooting and all that kind of thing, and then
you can crack that out in a couple of weekends.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Enjoy it a lot.
Hmm.
Could be speed painted to hell and back very quickly.
Do you feel like the Germans are going to get done up like kippers in that one, mind you?
In a reverse of the other starter set.
Yeah. Well, it does depend if you're painting historical or if you're painting Hollywood.
Well, yeah. For me, it's normally Hollywood.
Same for myself. I would rather just get a force down that's Hollywood styled. For some people, for historical, yes, it's dig in, find the unit, find the patches, find all the water decal slide transfer thingies and put them on. Me, no, if I can get it so that it's looking just about what I've seen in a TV show, I'm happy enough to play.
Oh yeah, my good guys are in green and my bad guys are in grey. That's as far as I go. So, yeah.
Well, for most of the allies, do you want olive drab?
Yes,
olive drab or olive drab? Oh wait, crap! I'm wearing it.
You're just going all American all the time, then, Justin. Is that what you're saying? But yeah,
hoorah!
It's a nice set. It's nice that they've put in recon vehicles, which at least shows you both how armor works and I suppose how recon works.
It does. It does make me think. If they've done a Gentleman's War one, I can't remember. Did they do the Band of Brothers one as 3rd edition, or has that not been done yet?
I don't know if it's been brought up to date yet.
Yeah. Oh no, they did a sale of it towards the end of 2nd, I think it was. So you could get your hands on it.
They did a new box set for 3rd.
Yes, but it'd be cool to get, I think, Band of Brothers and stuff in with the 3rd book.
Maybe they're hanging on.
So. Yeah.
Because you weren't here when we were talking about Conflict, were you?
No.
So the Conflict starter set, whenever we were looking through that, I pointed out the fact that they've got completely new ruined buildings in it in plastic. And I'm going, well, maybe they're waiting for them to hit production, and
so
then
they have
can
to
do
put the ruined
new
farmhouse in it again.
Yes, you'll have no more farmhouses.
Oh no, the classic. That's a legacy piece.
I have 4 of them.
Big farm.
Only 4.
Big farm. So now you'll be able to do some new runes instead.
That's
slightly
true.
different.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, nice bit all in all. And a lovely bit of absolutely destroyed Adobe building to fight around, slash through,
which is MDF. Goodness.
Yeah.
Cracking stuff.
Right. Lovely.
Enough of the news. This week's Indie of the Week is Italian.
Italiano! I don't know why I did that.
Love this.
He's
obsessed with Italian.
Giallo.
So.
It's a range of resin, which I absolutely adore. And it's been a long time coming. So we're going to be looking at the Terrible Kids, which I'm constantly getting confused with stuff all over the place.
I think you found the one that I liked, Ben.
So
that little plaque.
Terrible Kids mostly do a selection of large-scale figures based on a whole host of artists and sculptors. So there is, for example, a Paolo Parente dust collection. You can see Rosie's there. Course. And there's bits and pieces based on Brahms artwork and all sorts. And these tend to be big figures. And they're also tend to be limited in runs. So when you go through here, you'll see that the kit is there. But a lot of the other ones may be sold out and they just get retired more than anything else. So
I was having a look through the store, they get grayed out.
If you are a fan of paintings, or even if you've not done any big scale figures, they've got some gorgeous bits and pieces in here that you can have a look at. Also, as a complete aside, if I go there, Chronicles of Etheron, one of the fellas responsible for what we're going to be looking at in a minute, Marco, has started his own Mordheim campaign with his friends.
Ooh.
But they're calling it the Chronicles of Etheron, and this is just them essentially playing out their world, and they'll be doing little updates in here, so you get a bit of a blurb. It's not exactly Mordheim.
It's Mordheim at home.
It's Mordheim adjacent. There wasn't a meteorite hit.
Mordheim.
Yeah.
There wasn't a meteorite hit. There was the ground collapsed due to mining for mineral under this thing. So, that's just nice if you like narrative battle reports and that sort of thing.
And it begins with, "Come closer, young one. Sit beside me near the fire." That's creepy and ominous.
Stay a while and listen.
Only when you say it like that.
Like that.
You don't have to say it like that. You're not right. You've gone wrong, mate. In fact, I introduced you to Jim Henson. He never would have said things like that. Anyway, but the Chronicles of Etheron that we're going to be looking at is the stuff that MV Creative did. Now, I backed all of their Kickstarters.
Of course you did.
The first one of which was in 2020. So these are only coming to retail now. Kickstarter backers got them, wham bam, thank you ma'am, ages ago. So this was 2020. I got this one in 2021, and then there was a set in 2021 that I came out in 22, and then one that was 22 and came out in 22. So there've been 3 of these since, but they're finally filtering through for general retail if people didn't get the Kickstarter. They are in the main goblins for the majority. However, they did add gnomes and dwarves, which we can see later on as well. And they are a mix of themes / genres. So you can, for example, see maybe a certain Green Goblin, Spider-Man villain-esque look here with the bomb throwing goblin on his glider, or in this case, Massive Fat Frog.
He looks so happy.
I mean, he is happy.
He's leading his best life. Leave him alone.
Yeah. He's having a wonderful time. I mean, one of the things I love about these is the absurd look of them, and they are absolutely packed full of character.
Yeah.
They look like they should have a world of their own. They don't. They look like they should have a game of their own. Don't have one of those either. Which is why I've been searching for skirmish games I could fit them into forever and a day.
Just make some fan stats and put them into Moonstone. Job done.
No, I don't want these for Moonstone. I want these for something else.
All right.
If I knew what I needed them for, I would do it already. But the range is too big, too vast for me to limit myself to only a handful. The little red or the little rag doll that's being decapitated on his base is a theme. The little Cupid dolls.
Yes.
You'll see them running throughout. I mean, there's one hanging on to the bomb that the Zimbag's about to chuck. And they are stonkingly good. Now, they're 28mm, but on the big size, heroic size of 28mm, they still only come up to the waist of... I have one sitting there. I've only got big monsters sitting there, have I? Yes.
They're still goblin sized.
They're still goblin sized, but their head may come up to the sort of chest of a 28mm figure, but then they block wider. As you can see, they're quite chunky monkeys. But there are some superb things in here. So can anybody spot where some of these models are from?
Oh, yes.
I see Conan, Witcher, God of War.
No, you mean Chromom, Watcher, Gib of Weir.
Doob of Doobly-Doo.
Yes.
Warcraft.
Warcraft.
and Warcraft again.
Warcraft 2.
You two can have Illidan as a Cupid doll crushing horned demon.
He is prepared.
He very much is prepared. I like his staff of creepy doll heads as well.
Yeah. I will say one of the things that's really nice about this and what Terrible Kids do, and you actually see this with a lot of the slightly more bespoke creators, like what's it called, Blacksmith Miniatures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They list the illustrator, the sculptor,
yes,
the theme, the actual scale, the material. That is so good because it means that people actually get a look in as to who's doing all this stuff.
Oh, they list theirs as 32 mil, but fair enough. Fair enough.
It's nice everyone gets their credit.
Mm-hmm. Buzandkrantz.
I mean,
cool.
I can only dream of what he'd look like painted. I can tell you what he looks like unpainted there, and has been there for about 3 years.
Is he also unpainted and covered in a slight layer of dust, Jerry, or is he?
Oh, there's nothing slight about that layer.
See, I just imagine
it.
I just imagine up in front of Jerry, it's just the Council of Miniatures, and they just talk to him, giving him his sass and ideas.
Yeah.
It's an eclectic mix of stuff up there, I will say that. There's a Forge World Vermin Lord, some 1980s GW Santas, a Bretonian, some multi-award winning Moonstone miniatures, some Rackham stuff, and then some of this. Oh,
the wisdom of all
Stalkers.
time.
So yeah, it's
Wargaming Time Lord right there.
It's not right. Anyway, but yeah, like I say, this was mostly the initial run, which contained some absolute bangers.
Oh, Harlock.
And they have such a weird look to them. I particularly like the pelican-looking parrot on his shoulder. Maybe parrots don't come to the shoulder as easily in this goblin world, and therefore
some form of crossbred flamingo.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, that would make more sense actually. Although the initial one I seen was never had any pink or colour on
it. Crossed with sugar candy.
Yeah. Candy floss.
Yeah, fell into the candy floss machine. It's fine.
The Assassin's Creed.
Yup.
But instead of being on a rooftop, he's just on a dog kennel roof.
Yeah. And there's the little puppet above him with the dagger ready as well.
That one.
You've also got the puppet guards climbing up from below, ready to get shanked.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's so nice.
They are just.
I do find it funny that the back of the doghouse is open and the dog's butt is just hanging out.
Yeah.
He's expanded over the time.
Wow.
The figures are absolutely hilarious in many respects.
So good.
Yeah. And the initial runs, like I say, were a mix of pop culture inspired things. So, you've got He-Man alongside Eladin. You've got Enzio and all sorts. After that, then they started adding in, or doing specific runs that were themed more. Mm-hmm. So we had the pirate one where everybody was a pirate. So you've got Sting the Master Arms, which is just the Dread Pirate Roberts from Princess Bride. He has spent months/years becoming immune to the colorless, odorless, tasteless poison iocane. Never get into land war in Asia either.
No.
Which is probably why Battlefront have seen that and then went, there's no point in doing a starter set.
That's true. Yep, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, look at him with this little bottle of stuff.
Because he's weighed down by the weight of the grog.
Yeah, clearly a companion has to carry all your other gear.
Oh, yes. Ux is so good. Oh my god.
Yes.
He's even got a little timepiece as well in the it's great.
Well, you've got obviously Captain Hook going all TikTok-y, but then you've also got Smee.
Smee.
With his shield pieces of it.
Pew.
They are just absolutely.
What about Smee? Wait, what about me?
They're crying out for a game.
Yes.
I know a long time ago, Marco, when I was speaking to him way back in the first campaign, they were talking about working on a game. Right. I don't think they've ever got round to it. There's that Keith Richards fellow. He's got a parrot, but not a parrot. It's just one of the little rag dolls dressed up.
A puppet parrot. Yeah.
Cosplaying.
Do you remember there was a game about, I think it was coming something like Maya Swamp or Swamp Maya. And it was done by the company that made Tenfold Dungeon, then vanished from the world.
Yes.
They did a goblin-based game I wonder if, because I'm fairly sure we still have the rules for that somewhere in the studio.
We are a company of hoarders.
It might be worth seeing maybe if that works possibly with it, but
I love the Inspector.
Maya Marsh, that was the game. There we go.
There's also your
I remember now.
One Piece inspired stuff.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
And at this point, we introduced dwarves, including
my favorite,
not Judge Dredd on a water ski, because obviously he's going after pirates.
You direct the Inspector.
I mean, and this, by the way, that base is absolutely gorgeous.
It's divine.
But the whole jet ski bike is separate. It just sets onto that to give you that angled pose. If you didn't want to put it on that, you don't have to. You could come up with your own base.
Yeah.
Although why you wouldn't put it on that is beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
Do the dwarves and the gnomes have companions? Or
no.
Is it something specific to
No, not something specific. They tend to be poor, terrible people who just living their life with a lot of hair and stuff going on and no little rat dolls to play with, which is a terrible, terrible shame. What are you hawing about?
The Skelly Bob?
Oh, the Skelly. Oh, we'll take a look at the Skellies in a minute. If you want to know what Jason Momoa would look like as a dwarf, my man.
If you were going to do a game for this, you just do it as a parody of these ones are all just, their own fantasy race, but they're playing the pop culture reference they're on. Just call it Bad Actors and you're done.
I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility.
Boneg the skeleton.
Cool.
Zombies, ghouls.
Yes.
The whole shebang.
Now,
Witch Doctor.
Some of these had things like alternative heads
that
I think were Kickstarter exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're only showing off one type here means they probably are.
Yeah.
But then in some of the other links, it shows like the alternative pieces. So I don't know if they were, or if they've gone, well, it's been 5 years. We've never really bothered bringing out to retail. Got the molds. You might be lucky, or you might just find that it is one and done. That head is separate and sits onto the neck. So you do get a hollow head and jaw, which is really, really
negative space.
Oh.
You love it.
I wonder if you could get a tiny LED, get it just in behind there so the mouth was just lighting up.
Oh, that would be cool.
If you want to. It's something I won't be doing because he's never making it to being glued together, let's face it. I like the fact he's sprouting shrooms.
Yeah.
Because he's quite cute as well. And Doc's the Ghoul. He's got more of that negative space that you like so much.
Yeah.
He's on his way out.
Space.
We're seeing a lot more of that. Where sculptors are playing with negative space, and it really gives a nice aspect to your miniatures.
It does.
Oh, I love this.
This is an absolute beast.
Wow.
Some of the big models they do are sensational. And once we get past the goblins and dwarves and friends, looking with his tiny fishing rod, go forward, go forward. They have a range of monsters, which are both fantastic, spectacularly big, and incredibly reasonably priced for resins. It has to be said. So if we plow on past the goblinos, you say as in surprise and alarm. These are chunky monkeys. So 22 quid for a troll-sized thing.
Yeah.
She is, now I know it says 32 mil. If I was clever, I would have taken some of my stuff out if I could find it. But they are the guts of...
She's got to be like 54-ish.
Sort of,
something like that.
Yeah, 54 mil tall type of thing. Likewise, the Lich Knight as well is absolutely spanking.
Wow.
And some of these I got not to use with the goblins, because I think the goblins are great by themselves. I don't want to add these sort of things to them. But there's a head you can see. But I do think some of these would be cracking in other games as just big, brutal beasts. I mean, she's, wherever she is, she's going into my Night Stalker army for Kings of War.
Oh, yeah, because the face would be a really good match.
Yeah, not as a Banshee, but as one of the big sort of Void Lurker type monsters or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so much fun and so much detail in these. They are absolutely the dog's balls.
Yeah.
I only knew of the goblins. I didn't know they'd done the
This was in the
dwarves and the
third
gnomes and stuff.
/ fourth. Yeah,
Yeah.
They only started adding in the dwarves in like the later Kickstarters,
Cool.
which we didn't really cover so much as Kigark the Ogre.
Wow.
I mean, again, big, brutal chunk of resin
Mm-hmm.
with sculpty bases.
The design
Glorious.
aesthetic on these is just top tier.
Yeah, and this demonic Mewtwo-looking freak with the... and that hand does go massive, and the other one ends in a big spike.
Mm-hmm.
So he's proper Mewtwo. They're screaming because they can smell his fart.
I think one of my favorites I've seen from this range, I was having a peek earlier, they did an Al Capone where he's
Did
a
they?
Pictar.
Oh, cool.
So half man, half pig, both rib cages.
Brilliant.
It's the best way. It's one of the large 75mm resin sculpts.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Bagpipe.
Bagpiping.
Mm.
Everybody likes a bit of bagpiping at the weekend.
Yeah.
Look at him go. With his tiny
Lovely.
little band,
Mm.
banging the cymbals. The
And it's just
cymbals
going
are about to
ding,
slam into
ding,
the side of
ding.
his head while he toots on his trumpet. To teach him. It's a shame she's currently not available. That's Maleficent.
Hmm.
Yes.
With a reclining puppet.
Yeah. But yeah, the range, like I say, 50 dime products.
Wow.
Mhm.
So it's taken a while for them to creep in here, but they are absolutely corking. He is a thing of beauty / madness. And
It's
creeping
like
off the
if
deck as well.
it's like if Modark and Doc Ock had a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, really is. There was some amount of me swearing looking at that as well. And the end, I
Really?
assembled him. He is separate from the legs,
Uh-huh.
so
Right.
I can paint the legs by the medium of metallics and an airbrush, and then
And then
paint
slot
him
him
and
in.
just glue him
Yeah.
in there.
Mhm.
Also, I will say nearly every one of them comes with a little resin base,
Cool.
which is 22.5mm round, which they don't mention.
Okay.
But if you happen to have round-lipped bases from Wrath of Kings, game that Cool Mini are not the website for rating people's paint jobs destroyed, they fit perfectly into those. So I can put them into standard
Brilliant.
30mm round lips.
I wonder if they'll fit into a Wild West Exodus one then.
No, they will get... Well, yes, they'll fit because they're so much smaller. You'll have a
okay.
ton of dead space around it.
Okay.
It's specifically for people like me with the Wrath of Kings bases because the round lip is 22.5mm wide. So
Gotcha.
the fact of I assume another company makes those, but
Or
you're
you
looking
can
for
find
the
a
insert
3D print
space.
file if you're of a mind.
No, I will never be of that mind.
I was
but
telling
yeah,
everyone else, Jerry.
if you're interested in checking things out, it's definitely worth having a look at that. I'll open the collections because otherwise nobody will have a clue what we were talking about. So you're talking about that Capone.
Yes.
The
That is my
steampunk
favorite.
pig Al Capone with grippy hand.
Pictar.
Real grabbing claw action for his cigar. And
Don't worry, you can still get him for tax evasion.
I don't want to know why that's
I don't
powered
want to know
or why
what
there's a
it's
tap.
for. Yeah.
There's nothing I ever want to know about on that. Yes. But yeah.
I'm a big fan of Brahms.
Yeah, everybody's a big fan of Brom, which is why
yeah.
most of them are
Devil's
sold
Rose,
out.
please.
Mm.
But I mean, there
yes.
you go. And that is a 32mm figure. So you could use that in a game.
Wow.
That is
Deadlands,
fabulous.
I'm not sure what else.
Yeah.
It's not right for Deadlands, mind you, because it's a motorbike, but it's got a horse's head on it. So kind of. Yeah. Anyway. So yes.
Super cool.
The Terrible
Wonderful.
Kids. They do some really nice stuff. And definitely worth checking out. And if somebody has a clue what rule set I'm going to use, let me know, because I've been gathering them up.
Surely
Like
one
a
page rules must
squirrel
have something for you.
gathers nuts in the autumn. I've just got so many generic skirmish games, some of which are really good, actually. And I think I'll sit them down to a T if I can ever pull my finger out.
There you go.
Write the
Same old
rules,
problem.
play the rules, and maybe even, who knows, paint the miniatures. It's not going to happen.
Never going to happen.
Never. Right, time for some more news.
Even more news, bitches.
All right then, back for some more news. And I've stuck some GW in here to annoy Ben. Have I? Heck is like. Wargames Atlantic have thrown out some round-based rules for people to play test for Deathfields. So, as Hudson said, 1,000,000 years ago, I want to do a game. And now they are finally round to doing that game. One of many games they're currently working on. So they've got the Grand Battle scale is being worked on. They've been doing stuff with Hellion
Fantasy
for Samurai. And they had a set of rules that they want to do that they're calling their round-based rules. I do not know if these are the same or different, because there's still going to be the Shattered Union game coming and something else. So this may be specifically Deathfield Arena and the round-based rules that he wants to do for other games that work in a skirmish modern / sci-fi way, might work off a different engine. But Deathfield Arena is the premise behind the sci-fi ranges they've been doing for a while now. So when you see things like the Snake Feet, the Grognards, Raumjäger, Dwarves, Einherjar, I believe they were called. The idea behind this is aliens exist. Humanity has no clue that they've been harvesting people for millennia for fun and competition. They pick humans up whole cloth, Napoleonic old guard, you say, well, let's just take them off to our death arena, and they make them fight over and over and over again until they all be dead.
So 1-to-1 scale wargaming with us.
Yes, pretty much. It's the most impressive sport in all of the universe / galaxy, and everybody loves to see everybody getting done up like kippors. So the beta rules that you can download now and play test are designed for 3 factions, Legrogs, the Raumjäger, and then they've got a generic faction. So if you don't have either of these but want to give it a go with something else, either another Deathfield stuff, maybe you've got the Bulldogs,
I want to use the cannon fodder,
or cannon fodder, or if you've got 40k or one-page rules, forces that you fancy giving a go to, you can. It's a fascinating set of skirmish rules if you've not had a chance to look at it yet. The rules themselves are about 70 pages long currently, although 2 pages of that is cover and people, so I don't really count those. But it is a D10 based system. And the most intriguing thing to me is combat effectiveness, which I will go, whacha. You get a bit of history about what's happening, who they are, where they've come from, and why they all need to die. But it plays on a 3x3 at about 500 points, which is roughly 8 to 10 people per side. This does not exist yet, but this will exist in the future. And this shows that it is a true skirmish game, in that you are tracking individuals within your team. You're not just going, oh, he's dead, move on with my life. You have incremental damage. And then you can, when you're building, have different equipment on them. So those would sort of go in there, up to 4 pieces of equipment. You can get a little stand, and then this will be like a pegboard that you can do your tracker up and down with. And this is because of this. So this is essentially the stat line for everybody in the game, but it's also the initiative for everybody in the game, which is fantastic. I'm going to make you bigger for the kids at home. Way! Look at that. So
everybody takes their glasses off. Ben, take your glasses off.
Blue to red. That's unfortunate. That's glass shaming. We don't make you wear a wig every week, do we?
Hey, I can barely make it through a show wearing a hat. So you really think I'm going to sit with some scratchy ass wig on my head?
So yes, you've got blue to red are the 4 phases the game operates in. Bar the first turn, where you either roll randomly to see what phase it starts in, or people can pick, depending. So you progress from worst to best. So when you're playing, you'll have a combat effective rating. for each of your fighters, and you roll that at the start of the game. So you might roll that they are Saki, which is where I'm going to be starting most of mine. And then Shay will probably be around here. But then these things can change. This is not wounds. You're not tracking wounds and tracking how people are dying. You are to a certain extent, but you can see the wounds on the end there. Everybody has 5. But the wounds does not reflect the combat effectiveness of the fighter. So when the game begins, and let's say it starts on orange, so it will start with whoever's got the initiative will activate all of their guys, and then their opponent will activate all of theirs who are orange combat effectiveness. And this is a marker of training, morale, how the game is going in the arena while the aliens are screaming and going, "Oh, you're shit."
Yeah,
I can't believe you missed that
sort
shot.
of your mental state and your willingness to fight.
It's all of everything, and it fluctuates throughout the game, so it doesn't just go down; it can go up. So if you're in there doing the do and fighting well, you can go up step by step, and as you go up step by step, your stats will change to reflect things: best use of cover, how you're fighting, range, whatever. Everything is D10 dice pool, and you're looking higher. So equipment and the like may give you additional dice. When you roll to hit, you roll all your dice. Your opponent then rolls their dice based on yours. So if you get 5 successes, they roll 5 defense. If you get 3 successes, they roll 3 defense. You're seeing how many hit, and they're seeing, can they block those hits that have come in? And then that will cause either pluses or minuses. So if you miss your attack, you're going to go down a step on your combat tracker. If you hit, you go up. If your sergeant has to step in and give a special order to you to do something, it's going to drop their combat effectiveness because they're having to take time to watch your slow ass fail at your job.
Yeah.
So this is fascinating, and obviously lower is better. So if you're up there at 10, like Queen Bee, all of your hits are 2s or more on a D10. So very rarely will you fail. 1s always fail, 10s always succeed. But yeah, so you play through orange phase, and then your opponent does his orange, and then you go to green, and then you go to blue, and then you lip back round to red. There are no turns. You just follow the sequence until one team is out of the game or the scenario objective is achieved. So it's just constantly flowing back and forward.
It seems very fluid, yeah.
And then the only other thing to note is if you happen to be in orange or green, and then you've done something and you've messed up and it's dropped your combat rating down to the band below, your turn ends. So you've got 2 activations normally. If you fail with your first shot, then you're not going to get a second shot because you've dropped.
Right.
That obviously that means you could also potentially go up the way. So if you happen to be sitting at band 7 and you're finishing off green and you've just had a really spectacular turn where you've stabbed somebody to death, and then you jump up to blue, you get to activate again in blue.
I was just about to ask that. If you go up in bands, do you get to keep like pulling through on that momentum?
Yeah. Yes, you do.
I like that.
And if you're the MVP, if you're Flash Gordon running the touchdown and fighting the fight and do the do, you could potentially go through a couple of bands at once. Obviously, it only takes 1 step to get out of red and only 2 steps to get out of orange. So if you do happen to start the game at that lower level, you can pump up quite quickly, as long as you make sure that you are selective in what you do when you activate. If you are in red, mind you do have some issues because you can't initiate fights for whatever reason you are. You'll fight like a trapped rat in a corner if somebody comes at you, but you can't go out of your way to do it.
Right.
But then you can use some other bits and pieces. Like I say, there are a set of get you by army lists at the end, which are fairly standard across the board. You have a points value for your basic trooper. For the Raumjäger and the Grognards, they come with 2 special abilities that the commander can use. The generic list has none of that. So their troopers are a bit cheaper. And then if you want to upgrade some of the heavy weapons, then there's points to pay for that. Upgrade for captain, points to pay for that, and then upgrade for equipment. So it's list building. You can be quite tinkering with your lists. You could go cannon fodder. you take your generic 28-point trooper and then just go, they're getting nothing. Getting pistol or gun and nothing else. Or they all come with daggers. Be lucky, people. And just try and swarm your opponent, knowing that they are going to be sitting there with armor, better weapons.
Turns into Unreal Tournament. Yeah.
Maybe the potential to do things. So, for example, the Grognards, if they are successful with shoot action and you're in charge range, they get a free charge in. Because they do that sort of Napoleonic column of attack. So fire and then charge.
Was the Ramjager one, was it an additional movement at the beginning of the game? Or I think it was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pulling quickly for cover.
They've got Sturm deployment. So before the first turn begins, they can nominate 2 models not equipped with heavy weapons who can deploy further out. Yeah. And then Fieldmeister tactics. If they're in base contact with terrain, they get a shield bonus. So shield is roll your attacks, see what hits. Your opponent rolls dice equal to your hits to defend, and then shield is a bonus defense after that.
Right.
So for any that got through, and sometimes it can be given by equipment.
Cool.
But yeah, it's a fascinating set of rules. So it does get into the weeds, into the nitty gritty. It's what I term a proper skirmish, in that it's not just that you're not mass battle lined up, but you are tracking individuals, and the individual's stat line sort of modifies and changes over time, and the equipment is important, how you tailor your force.
See, the force I'd want to build for this is maybe a couple or 3 like good, well-armored guys, and the rest is just people in prison onesies
Dungers.
with a sharp stick, and it's just like, okay, they are going to blitz forward. You will deal with those. If you do, my good guys have time to get up, get into position, and start hammering the hell out of you. If you go after the big guys, the little guys are going to come in and maybe shiv you in the kidney.
I mean, you've got to balance that against the fact that if your opponent then kills all your dungers, they're going to go up the rank much quicker. So it's an interesting balancing act.
Fair point.
Also, you don't know when people are going to be activating, because they're going to be activating at the combat effectiveness band.
That's true.
So your dungers might activate very late on or very early, at which point they can suffer these slings and stones of outrageous fortune.
It's really going to be interesting for the meta on how you build out your forces.
I love that it's, as you say, like a true skirmish game, in that it's quite literally a handful of troops as well.
Yes.
So even though those box sets that they do for Deathfields come with 20, 30 models in, or whatever it is, you're essentially only working with a handful, maybe 8, 10 models per side. So you've got a lot of depth in there for you to play around with stuff. I don't know. I didn't get far enough through the rules to see if I assume they probably haven't put anything about sort of campaign stuff or anything like that in there at the moment, but you could potentially see something like that built into it in the future.
Yeah.
I guess.
But there's nothing in there now, but that is, Charlie's talked about the fact that they're working on that.
Right.
So yes,
as your team survives successive bouts in the arena and stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, as you're playing through with those big number miniature boxes, if you find something that's particularly effective, or you find something that's not so good, you still have miniatures that you can build, paint, and reload out without buying more stuff.
If you're going WYSIWYG, if you think you've got 8 men in your crew and you've got 24 in a box, then you can go through and go, okay, well, I want gas mask, I want blah, I want blah, I want blah on him. And then later on you're going, never using the gas masks. My opponents never bother taking anything that requires it. I don't care. Why am I spending points on that? Let's build one without.
Yeah.
Or let's build one that's now got a different heavy weapon.
Yeah.
Currently in the Deathfield range, you've got Ramjager, Les Grognards, the Einherjar, the Cannon Fodder, the Bulldogs, the Ura, the Harvesters. Ooh.
Ura could be fun.
Harvesters is different, possibly. They're part of the Deathfield, but one of the things is they're saying obviously they take humanity and they pit them against each other, because there's quite a bit of backstory in that little beta rule to begin with. But one thing is they may just go, you know what would be interesting? These guys have been doing really well. How would they face off against horde upon horde of harvesters coming at them, wave after wave, until they've got no ammo left?
Game.
But this sounds like it's going to be great for doing like narrative battle reports.
Also, because all of the Deathfield's kits are essentially interchangeable, because they all use the same part mix-up, you could do some insane stuff with the customization.
Well, you could do that. Your gang is like veterans of the arena, there for multiple generations, gathering all the odds and sods off other people to keep themselves armed up.
Wearing the bulldog hats that they've stolen and stuff. You
didn't mention the Vein. because Vian are the fantasy ogres, but they also come with Deathfield parts to make them sci-fi, and the rules do say stuff's on 25 mil rounds and big guys are on 40s. So the Vian are coming as well. So you two could have your massive ogres shooting some poor Roman legionnaire in the face.
They are going to be
just trying to work out what's happening.
If they're big guys, though.
I hope so. Yeah.
That's part and parcel of things.
I am excited. I might just buy a box and build it, even having just build it as a generic box and be like, there you go, I've done it now. So
it's one to have a look at if you fancy something that's a bit different from the regular fare of sci-fi skirmish that's out there at the moment. A little bit more involved than this is that.
I want someone to build like the arena, but have the stands outside with all the alien gribblies in there screaming people on.
That'd be
you
cool.
could do that.
Yeah, you could do it.
I could do that. I could do that. I won't. I could, but I won't. I'm an ideas guy.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Right. Rules are free right now if you want to get into the beta, and there is a face page if you're into the fake bake. You can join that as well, where people have been giving their feedback.
They have.
And coming up with plans as well and ideas for tracking things while we're waiting for stuff like the combat effectiveness tracker to come out in the future with the actual rules. So yes, it's a fairly active community of like-minded individuals, which is what you want.
And there's some videos you can watch as well, so you can see the game in action.
Yes, you see Charlie getting his toys handed to him.
Excellent.
As is his want. Right. Away from that preview and into Warcrow previews.
Yeah, so last week we got to see the full reveals from Interplanetario, which is the big event in the Corvus Belli calendar, where they dive into what's coming up in the future for the Worlds of Infinity and Warcrow. And in this particular case, we're going to be looking at the stuff for Warcrow because that's, big on big in people's minds at the moment, with obviously the Song of the Dormant out there in the world. So if you've been looking at that and you want to see where things can expand, then you got some options here on that front. So we saw some gorgeous previews for the Feudum, who are your sort of valiant knights.
Vive la France.
Of the Warcrow world. So you have Genevieve, the Countess of Silem, there, looking particularly awesome, rocking those Joan of Arc vibes.
Crush a grape.
Yeah. Very nice indeed. She was backed up by a preview of one of the Feudum commanders. A big bullish man in heavy armor charging around on the tabletop.
If I ever became a heavy man.
There you go. Yes. Or just padded out your plate mail, I guess. But when I saw him, I was taken back to Dynasty Warriors, because there was a guy, Dian Wei, in that who had a big bull axe and a bull thing on his shoulder. Not at all related to the Feudum, but there you go.
No. I'm with you. He's just going to go spinning round, then go slam, and 50 things will explode.
Fighting his way out of Dong Zhao's palace.
Big shot quicks coming off that hammer.
But yeah, super cool. And that obviously fits in quite nicely with everything that's come out for the other factions already, where you have commander figures who are then able to enhance particular units on the tabletop in Warcrow and give them special buffs and bonuses. You also have this fellow, which is the Feudum Magister. And this is where I started to get the vibes of kind of like Elden Ringy Dark Souls stuff from these guys, especially in the helmet design that you see for the Feudum. And obviously the sort of animal markings that they have on their armor as well. But there's just something about these guys that, even though a lot of the time you see the Feudum painted up, especially in the official artwork, this sort of like sparkling armor, knights of times and all that kind of thing, do them dirty, blood dripping out of the face masks, grime encrusted everywhere, full on weird stuff. I think it would be a super cool way to go, especially with the taint being such a thing in Warcrow.
It's clearly middle management, because if the peasants aren't working hard enough, he'll give them a smack.
Well, exactly, yeah. And he's got the balls to do it. And then backing all of that up, backing all of that up, and again, reinforcing that sort of, this would be cool if it was grimdark. Got the Guardians of the Mound here, which looks super cool with their bucklers and fencing swords and things there. And having those skull masks done in that kind of maybe like a painted fashion over the top of those with like really dark armor, I think would be super awesome.
I was going to say black enamel at all, but I'm pretty sure the hegemony of Embersig have already cornered the market in black
our
enamel.
gig.
Oh no, you do it in like a metallic midnight blue.
That'd be
and then
cool,
do
actually,
the skull's face mask in like a super bright punchy red.
Yeah. Ooh, that would be cool. Ooh, I like.
It would be striking, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So that's what's coming for the Feudum down the road. It shouldn't be too long before we get to look at that. On the side of the Scions of Yaldabaoth, and I've heard people pronounce Yaldabaoth in so many different ways.
Yes.
Oh, slimy time.
Yes. So this is the tutor, who you can see has been playing around with the tinge quite a lot. Not taint, the tinge.
Everybody is stained by the tinge.
Yes.
That's a bit more than a stain. That's not going to wash out.
I really loved that you've got that sort of magically imbued substance coming up around in front of him and holding the book up so that he can cast the spells.
Does a lot of heavy lifting for him.
Yeah.
Holding the magical orbs that he uses to cast his magic as well. Super cool.
When I first saw it, I thought it was just a slime person.
It might just be for slime all the way down.
No, there's people in there.
I can see people parts.
There's no way that's not being painted in yellow. Like Aster.
God, yes, that would be a really nice idea. Yeah. We also have something which kind of fits into the sort of quirky side of things that you sometimes get with the Scions as well. So this is Master Mei Li, who looks really cool. And again, sort of manifested the tinge in a different form around her, which is quite interesting. I'd love to delve a little bit more into the background and sort of the details of how she works, but I love the kind of cracked doll face as well that she's got.
Yeah, but that also the attempt to be angelic.
And the too many arms, one of them holding that shard behind her back as if she's waiting to...
How many arms is too many? Really?
It's all great for multitasking.
Yeah.
It's not more than 4 limbs, kill it.
Yeah, and then capping off the Signs of Yaldabaoth preview, we also got the husks. And the thing that I really liked about this, so many times you see undead in games, and they're all just humans. Obviously, Warcrow have gone, well, that's a silly idea. We have lots of interesting and diverse fantasy, races, ancestries in our game.
And they can all be husks.
And they can all be husks. Yeah. So you have one from the hegemony, you have feudum stuff in there. The
diversity is good.
The Sianan elves, the Northern tribes.
Yeah, I love that one of them's just carrying his spare sword through his chest.
Yeah. Spare sword or something the enemy tried to kill him with and has now been...
it's mine now. To hell with you, it's mine now.
Recycling, yeah, as we say. So some gorgeous stuff there for the Signs of Yaldabaoth, and again, I wouldn't imagine these would be too far off the coming out as part of a general release. We also got to see a few more fun things for other factions as well. So the Sienna, the northern tribes are fairly bulked out already as it stands now.
Yes,
but we got to see some fun stuff. So the Siennan elves got these folks who are the Sprigs. So you see that sort of combination of both nature and their own elven forms brought together to form those weapons on their...
They've gone wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the big vine whip on the guy on the right, though.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I love the big shard-style root weapon on the lady on the left as well. It's really nice. But a lovely set of really inventive sculpts again from the folks at Corvus Belli.
The idea that the forest is their weapon, I love.
Yes, yeah. And then capping things off, you didn't think it would be a Corvus Belli game without something massive in it.
Of course.
And so how about a tag, but in Warcrow?
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
Because the Embersig engineer from the support pack can be attached to a war rig unit.
There you go.
And it can heal them back and gives them buffs. And ever since I unboxed that, it was like, what's a war rig?
Can I have a war rig, please?
When's it coming? What's it look like?
I'm
okay.
Totally sold on this. That looks amazing.
Now imagine that painted in black and gold, like the hegemony. That's going to be super cool.
Oh no, this has to be super heroic. Bright silver, gold, bit of brass on the piping work.
You're stealing
this has to be so heroic.
It's heroic in black.
Yeah.
That's what the hegemony's all about. Can't get more heroic than them.
You get the big sort of piston-based hammer weapon on the one side, the big fist on the other, and then there's a flame thrower effectively on the top there as well, which looks super awesome.
Just paint the chair like red velour
Oh, yeah.
Just set that
He's
on the back.
relaxing as he kicks people's ass.
Oh, I didn't even notice that to start with.
Yeah. You could, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could even go down the route of just customizing it and not have the guy on the back and have it as some kind of magically, sort of powered construct. But I quite like the fact that he's sitting there, sort of.
Yeah. And weapon options as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because is that the same across the board? Or might just be the flamethrower again?
I think it might just be different angles, I think. But you never know. They might put there might be another, an alternative hand for the right side. As well,
or knowing Corvus Belli, there will be many forms of war rig.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'm sure we will get to see monstrous incarnations of something or other that will fit in quite nicely with the other stuff. Obviously, we've seen big things coming out for elements like the red caps in Warcrow Adventures.
Yes.
So when they eventually end up in the war game itself, potentially.
Well, I mean,
your foresty faction with one of them melded into the heart of the tree monster.
If you pick up Warcrow Adventures, then they're already available because the stat cards.
They did the stat cards for them. Oh, well,
they did the stat cards for those. Yeah,
perfect.
At the same time, they did the stat cards for the Scions. I think
the extra stuff for the Scions of Beyond Earth. Yeah.
Any more for any more?
Bring on the dwarves. That's what I say. There is one more thing that they revealed.
It's a dwarf engineer that you can buff that with.
Yeah, but I want all dwarves, man. They did a reveal of Ishmael, who is a mercenary figure from, I believe, has been in Warcrow Adventures already as a character.
Right.
But there is now this tournament exclusive edition of the character that will allow you to use him as a mercenary with, as the name suggests, any force within Warcrow. So if you take part in their like ITS stuff or their tournament system, WTS, I guess, Warcrow tournament system, you can dive in, play some games, and get your hands on this. There will also be a regular version of him as a mercenary later on down the line. But this is obviously for people who dive in and
help
their best.
My mage is on fire.
Yeah.
Please send a new one.
If you have a friend going to the tournament and you can't make it, get them to grab one for you.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, lots of lovely stuff coming up for Warcrow. Might come back next week and talk about the Infinity stuff. So keep an eye out for that one. There was lots of reveals on that one as well. But rather than put them all in one, spread them out a little bit. There we go.
Spread the love.
Spread the love.
That's what they tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of spreading the love.
In explosive fashion, yes. Bloody Miniatures, who are one of my I love this company. They're so good. They, over the last couple of years, have been doing miniatures for the English Civil War and presenting people with variety of really interesting, characterful, almost narratively based sets that fit that period. For those people who are interested in kind of looking at the English Civil War from a skirmishy point of view, they were really sort of nailed on for that. However, one of the things they've wanted to do for a while, and they've now started to show off all the previews for it, releases coming very, very soon on this front as well, is their Treason and Plot range. So this winds the clock back a little bit to the Jacobean period, and it's all based around, as they've said themselves, a period of history that doesn't necessarily, especially in England, get a lot of wargaming like focus on it very often. There's certainly not necessarily any rules that really are defined for this, but it's that era of big roughs, swashbuckling, all that kind of thing, the gunpowder plot, all that kind of things, Guy Fawkes, etc. And so they've been working on a series of different packs. They're going to come out for this. They are going to go back to the English Civil War, but this is them sort of looking at something a little bit different and sort of seeing how it goes. So you have things like the bluff soldiers that you saw there, which would be your standard bodyguard. There was obviously no standing army at the time during this period of history, but these would have been the bodyguard that would have been raised up. You have the Bloody Hounds, which is a really nice set that can be armed with pikes if you want to and stuff like, well, halberds in this sense, or you could have them just leading their dogs around. Again, because use these as hunt masters amongst your hoi polloi as they're going out and doing all this stuff. Obviously, a bloodhound, very good for hunting down someone who smells a lot like gunpowder. Send them running through the streets. You'll have caught Guy Fawkes very, very quickly. But one of the other
got caught quickly enough.
Well, he did, yes, through his own idiocy. But then we also had this set, which I think is really great. So obviously, for this period of time, you want to have some of the big notable figures of that element. And so we had, And so in this case, we had a really fun set, which is a wonderful one, which includes, oh no, this is the Killing Gentleman. Sorry, folks. Yes. So you have the guy on the left who is the sort of rakish, foppish noble who wants to kind of like stand out in the crowd and sort of like win the duel against that person who
have besmirched my honor. Prepare to die.
Exactly. You then have the careless gunpowder plotter who is smoking a pipe while carrying. Yes.
Don't worry, mate. I'm the health and safety officer. This is fine.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you have the assassin on the other side as well, who is ready to stab somebody in the back if they dare reveal the plot to anybody. And also another swashbuckler there too. So you've got some sneaky individuals. What I thought would be really epic for this, if you're someone who owns the Foreground Tavern from way back when,
oh yeah, we have one
set
of those.
this up on the streets in some bloody London town, foggy London town, and have all the streets around and have a little how to do in the pub. And then as one guy sneaks out, go and stab him in the back. Yeah, cool scenario. Now moving on to the thing that I thought this picture was, but it wasn't, but
Yes.
now are on it. We also have the Titans of the Age, which is some of the notable figures from this period. So this set comes with King James of England and obviously the 6th of Scotland. Boo.
Jimbo.
Sir Robert Cecil, the Secretary of State, the Lord Treasurer in England, Spymaster in Chief, and then Francis Bacon. Not Richard Bacon. He did
Not Kevin Bacon?
But Francis of Kevin Bacon. Although he might be related, you never know. 6 degrees of Francis Bacon might be a new thing. And then Francis Bacon, the philosopher and Lord Chancellor and Attorney General of England.
The guy who wrote all of Shakespeare's plays.
Yeah.
That Francis Bacon.
And then also Henry Garner in that set, who is the Jesuit and organizer behind the gunpowder plot. Bam, bam, bam. So if you are looking to bring these big characters into the mix, they have already capped those off as well and added them into their collection. So this will be really fun to see where they go with this one. This isn't everything that they did, though. They also did a reveal a couple of weeks ago for some more of their sort of main sort of characters for this set. So they also released 2 boxes, essentially 2 sets that will cover your sort of rank and file, I guess, amongst your conspirators, be they plotters or silly plotters that got everything wrong. God damn it. It could have been. Imagine if the Houses of Parliament had blown up. Maybe I shouldn't say that on YouTube. So you get a set of the conspirators with those lovely half capes that I think is so indicative of the time, with their swords in hand and their pistols at the ready for shooting things up after they come out of the pub. Pow, pow, pow. Actually, no, it'd be pow. Wait a minute. Pow.
That's why,
3 minutes.
that's why you carry many.
Yes.
Brace.
A brace would be a good way to go. And then on the other side of things, you have the loyal dogs. So those are your sort of servants of the crown. A little bit like what we saw with the buff soldiers. Again, you wouldn't necessarily have a standing army during this period, but these would have been the bodyguard that were paid for by the crown to look after them and keep them safe. So maybe these fellows watching over the walls, taking pot shots at the conspirators as they're trying to escape through the town, perhaps. But some really fun stuff there. And even if it doesn't necessarily have its own nailed-on game for it, there was a suggestion in the comments that En Garde by the folks at Osprey would be a particularly good option for this, because it is a swashbuckling rule set, and it would perfectly work for what you're doing here. So, and it's also a skirmish game. There you go.
Buckle all your swashes.
Jerry's prepared. So if you are interested in doing this era of treason and plot, perhaps with November coming up, might be a fun thing for you to do with your local gaming group. Pick these up from Bloody Miniatures, get stuck in, play some En Garde, and have some fun. And then go and look at their English Civil War range as well, because it's really freaking awesome. So
One thing I would love to see is miniatures with some of the wild and wacky weaponry from history. No. Have you ever seen a gun knife?
Yes.
Yeah,
Not a gun
I have
axe,
seen. I've not
not a
seen it
gun
on a
sword.
miniature, but I have seen a gun.
Things like that really existed, but you would go, no, that couldn't be real, and they actually existed. I would love to see modelled in some of these games.
What you need to do is you need to go to Claymore Casting, because they have done a series of flamboyant European soldiers over the last little while who come with very weird and wacky weaponry that I was like, why is that any better than a spear? So
the one I saw recently was a gun knife where it was like, 12-inch blade with 2 musket or pistol barrels at either side, and the hammers were actually the guard. So you pulled back the guard, the triggers would fold out of the bottom, and then pew pew.
So you'd stab someone, and to make sure it was they were definitely dead, fire the gun at them.
Well, if it gets stuck in them, you fire so the recoil knocks it out.
Ah.
See?
Yeah. Are you sure you weren't a plotter, Justin? Yeah.
Whoa. Do not impugn the bloodlines.
But yes, fun stuff on that front coming out.
Yeah, very cool.
So
there's some really nice bits and pieces in their collection. There was a game that a lot of people were talking about for Bloody Miniatures, and I will have to pop a comment below.
Oh, has it gone off on the wind?
There was a big thing about it, specifically for the ECW, but it was narrative based.
They did
work
big
for it
battle
well.
report and stuff in War Games Illustrated and things, didn't they?
Yes.
So,
yeah, I'll have a nosy around, and if anybody's in the premiere, they can see it, because I'll type it in there now.
Jerry will respond, yeah. So.
Past Jerry instructing future Jerry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people not watching the premiere, unfortunately, you can't see the chat that was up there. So hopefully somebody else will tell you what it was, but I won't. Right. That's enough news for this week, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a swish, and we'll come back and round out the show with a couple of Kickstarters.
Did you win one of our prizes? Find out on our prize claim center over at OnTableTop.com. Here we list all our previous prizes and those who have won. If you see your username, fill out the form to claim your prize. All prizes must be claimed within 30 days.
Okay then, we have a couple of Kickstarters to wet your whistle before we vanish into the night. How are we starting things off?
What delicious wonderment have we got?
Hags. Lovely hags.
Hags akimbo. I faced a hag recently in Baldur's Gate 3. Ooh. Anyway.
I oughta.
60 hours in that game. That's a lot of time. But anyway, this is a different type of hag. This is Hag 28, and it comes from Reformed Hillbilly.
Well, it would do.
Best news.
This is a collaboration between two individuals, T.M. Sibelius and Jimmy Spence. And their whole ethos behind this project is they're not looking to set the wargaming world on fire. Yeah. They just really like the idea of doing something creepy in the 28 space. Oh. And they also wanted to go down the route of doing something with the classic hag that you might expect from folklore and mythology. And so in Hag 28, you will be, as you might imagine, taking on the role of such a hag who might come from various walks of life. Could be your
which flavor of hag?
Yeah, could be a classic witch that lives in the woods. Could be something Celtic or Gaelic or something. Could be mixed from. Could come from any walk of life, essentially. Whichever way you want to go, it's up to you. The game is, to turn a phrase, miniature agnostic, so you could use whatever the hell you want. If you've got stuff lying around from your Frostgrade wizard kits or all that kind of thing, or your cultist kits, that would be a great option for you to do that. Although, of course, you could just throw in goblins and do all sorts of different things. There you go. There's a good use for goblins, Jerry.
Yeah, make it grimy, make it gribbly.
There are 5 types of hag to choose from. You build your hag, you build up your set of unique minions, and then you take to skirmishy battles on a 3x3 table in 2-player games where you're looking to dominate the local hamlets around you. Because when 2 hags go to war, when 2 hags end up in the same location, there can only be one person who puts on the glamour and supplies the wonderful potions to the nearby people. Can't have 2 hags because that, would just dilute the market, and, you can't have that.
Maybe they could do a timeshare, summer hag, winter hag.
No, monopoly hag. And so the idea is that you'll dive into a campaign-based style game. You can also just play it as a simple one-off thing if you want to as well, where you'll be diving into fights, battling it out on the tabletop, and see who comes out on top. It uses a very simple action point-based system.
Jerry, naughty boy.
And then you also have a variety of distinct scenarios in there. There's 5 included in the main book. And also one of the things they've said is they are going to absolutely lavish this with the kind of creepy artwork that you see here as well. So the whole focus has been on to kind of make this as quirky and as weird as possible, so that you dive in and have as much fun hobbying and creating your warbands as you do actually playing your games with your hags on the tabletop. Now, as I've said, you can use any miniatures to play this game. but they have also been working to create some digital miniatures to go alongside this as well. I really love the descriptions out. This entire thing is mostly just narrative and then a few jokes, which is quite nice.
Makes great tea.
Yes.
Hardly notice the crunch.
But they've been working to create some STL files for a variety of different characters as well. So that's just a little added bonus to this, essentially. It is fully funded. In essence, the main focus of this is to effectively just create the rule books for you to use, and then you go off from there. But if you are interested in getting STL files for a bunch of different things, like I believe there's like a cauldron goblin and a couple of different hag types as well, they have also been working on that at the same time too. But it essentially falls into that camp of a lot of those 28 games that are out there at the moment. Very simple, quick and easy rules for you to get into, played on small spaces. The real focus of this stuff like this is to create those interesting miniatures and those interesting tabletops at the same time, and just make it the kind of like the cool thing that you do with your friends as part of the club. So
this game is going to be a scratch builder's paradise.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Always winter and never Fat Man Gifting Day. You can obviously disrupt this via the medium of Turkish Delight and some Sons of Adam and Daughters of Eve. That'll clear that right up.
That. A very small project, as you can see there, but as they're doing miniatures for the Woad Hag, another unique hag, and the Cauldron Goblin, and there's also be an expansion in there.
That's nice.
So yeah, if you dive into
this sounds like an absolute bagger.
Yeah, and I would imagine once they get the printing done for this one, we'll probably end up seeing it popping up on things like Drive-Thru or War Games Vault, for example, as well. So keep an eye out for it there. But if you want to get in on the ground floor, hang out with the hags, drink their potions. Definitely nothing wrong with them. I'm
assuming that's the book, not just a PDF.
Yeah, you get the full rule book and Cauldron Goblin.
Yeah, I can read that by me. It's a physical book, because the others are just PDFs.
Yes,
rule book PDF. Yeah. So.
Okay, so that's the one I want, because I don't do PDFs.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
He has to open the box and go, new book smell.
I just don't open PDFs if I can possibly avoid it. It's a terrible way. It's a terrible way to have to read anything.
Yeah. I got my PDF for Daggerheart weeks ago, but then I waited to get the actual books before I could actually read it. So
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. Loving that one.
Yeah, that is cracking. 14 days left and already funded.
Yep.
So if you fancy giving hags a go, give hags a chance. The life you save may be your own.
Hug a hag.
Hug a hag.
Hug a hag. Not a hoodie, a hag.
It's one way of doing it.
Hashtag hag life.
Right. From the haggish fantasy world, we're going to go off and take a look at some hard sci-fi. Coming from FASA. That's right. He's allowed to enjoy himself. He has to work with us throughout the rest of the week. So that's the way that goes. FASA are out and about with the Babylonian Union fleet for Leviathan, which is a fascinating expansion for Etherstream, sorry. So I'll preface this with what Etherstream is before we get into the campaign proper. This is initially a hex-based ship-to-ship combat game for fighters. Your fighters are from one of 5 different factions after Earth disappeared, essentially. They don't say why, how, or what.
Somebody
but humanity discovered this thing that allowed them to navigate faster than light travel, spread throughout the stars, and then one day when somebody went to look, the Terran Commonwealth and Sol, where we all launched from, was gone. Now, I don't know if that means you just can't get back to it, or literally that solar system was gone.
They built
whatever happened.
Through it.
Whatever happened, people have fell to fighting over time. So you've still got the Terran Commonwealth holding on to what's out there. Calistonian Empire was essentially the first people to splinter off and go about their own way. The Babylonian Union are the current crop of people who think they know the best way to maintain what the Terran Commonwealth was. don't worry about it. We'll deal with this behind the scenes. So while they feel like they're the true inheritors, they feel like they are really the same. The game itself, like I say, works on a hex grid. It's D10 dice pool system. And when you're playing with your interceptors, you've got a stat line for the ship itself and a stat line for your pilot. You can see here the pilots are on separate cards, so you can mix and match how they go in. And then you're just simply rolling D10 and looking to beat a target number of 7. The big shoomp thing there, that is your sort of plotting arc. So if you are attempting to get in behind somebody on a hex grid, you'll be able to go, well, I'm here, I want to attack him there, which means I've got to travel this way, and then I want this orientation. So that arc tells you how difficult the maneuver is to get behind somebody to shoot right up their jacksie. And as you can see from the bottom here, you want to be behind them because then you get like a +2 bonus when it comes to shooting right up their jacksie. Attempting to shoot them head on or from the side is harder. So that's your standard setup for the fighter game. They've then launched the Leviathans, and they launched the Leviathans for the first 2 factions, the Terrans and the Calistronians, whatever they are. And they introduced massive capital ships to the game. So this takes that a step further, adding a 3rd fleet. So the Babylonian Empire, God bless them, are going to be getting a whole set of capital ships. And there's also going to be a campaign supplement for playing extended narrative campaigns. So much so that if you're not interested in the Babylonians, if you've already got your faction and it's Terrans or Calistras, you can just pick up the campaign book. But otherwise, you can get that and a host of they're 3D printed resin ships. Now, those are 1-inch hexes for Aetherstream. With this, hello, fighters. With this, you'll be getting a range of new Union ships, and they go from a little capital ship, a frigate, some may say. It's 2-inch long, little resiny fellow, scouting away, up to magnificent beasts. So you can see the Galud Clath, Aether Carrier, the Griffin Destroyer, still relatively moderate.
Compact.
Then
easy.
we get into the bigger, the Lamassu assault platform with foldable wings, lock wings,
That's a nice touch.
lock S-foils in attack position, if you must. The Flame of Uruk, which is getting substantial, but we can go bigger. The Ziggurat class assault carrier, and my favorite of all, Le Camel. Because, I mean, if you're looking for a name to strike fear into your opponent's hearts,
Dromedary.
it's Camel.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But the biggest of the big is the Hammurabi. He who made all the rules, good old Hammurabi. If it wasn't for his laws, we'd have no laws at all. The class battleship, which looks to be about 8 inches by about 4 inches based on the hex map below it there. That is a honking chunk
Beastly.
of battleship coming your way.
Certainly levels things up from the basic fighters, doesn't it?
It really does. But when you're playing your games, you know, these big things are trawling around. They've got almost like a control panel. You'll have energy tokens that you allocate to various things like fire, maneuver, shields, deploying resources to launching fighters if you happen to be having fighters with you. Otherwise, you know, just all power to the main guns and start leveling things. So it does throw up options and interesting changes to the game when you're not just going all about dogfighting combat. Once you've got capital ships to start to pepper or protect, things become a bit more interesting. There's also a range of scenario-based pieces, so things like carriers and
space stations and things
space
like that.
stations.
Yeah,
those are
and
the words
stuff.
I was looking for. So your very large communications array, VLCA. That sounds like a scientist came up with that. What do you call that? A very large thing? Well, we call that the VLT. Yes. So a small campaign again, because it is just for the campaign book and those subsequent capital ships. But you can get in there and pick up all sorts of things. And they're already starting to stomp through, well-funded and aiming for additional stretch goals. Price-wise, it's a bit chunky, so the book itself is relatively cheap. You can pick it up for 15 quid, ish, or
PDF.
20 quid if you want an actual physical version, like God intended. When you start to get into the actual units, or fighters, or frigates, or destroyers, can be a bit pricier, up to the absolutely redonkulous, I want all the ships, send me one of everything, with all the other bits and pieces. So it's a hefty chunk of cash, but it's an interesting set of rules, an interesting background as well. FASA have been around since DOT in the fantasy and sci-fi wargaming sphere. People may be aware of them from having done a ton of fun in the past. One of the things they still do is Noble Armada, which uses the full thrust set of rules, which has vectored movement, and I forever will love it.
I love vectored movement. Oh.
This is a step down from that, where you don't have to plot out trajectories and speed in your head.
Spinning off into the...
Yeah, you don't have to worry about inertia.
That's why you have that big hex grid thing. You have to worry about it, but essentially you just go, I'm going from there to there, and therefore it's going to be this type of a piloting role to see whether or not I get there or end up facing the wrong way around. Considering the fact that it's already well funded with a substantial amount of money behind it, shows that the players are very keen on this campaign system and faction as well. And I'm fascinated to see where it goes, because it looks like really interesting. Even if you're just playing the dogfight side, the Interceptor, I think could be a lot of fun. Laying your hands on a nice hex map to play it on, harder.
Deep cut. They can specifically do you a custom one. So you tell them what size of hex you need, and then what sort of pattern you want behind it, and they will send it out to you. Or at least they used to. I don't know if they still do.
I just want black.
That should be easy.
Don't want any pattern.
Okay, so you want it to be like more of a, this is your holographic representation of what's happening, then you're looking down on it?
No, I just want black, man.
Okay.
With hex grid on it, so I can play hex-based games without going, the scaling is wrong or something else is odd about this.
How big is that star?
you used to get really nice vinyl set up. My mate has one, black with white hex map on it. And the company doing it is in the States. And the last time I checked, they were only doing the white version with black hexes, which is really annoying. It'll still work, but hey. But yeah, if you're interested in taking out the Babylonian fleet, seeing what Hammurabi and friends get up to,
just check. Deep Cut still do custom mats.
There you go.
In that case, that's always an option. Then get your nice black vinyl out, put the white print on it, and get ye to fighting in the distant future.
Sweet.
Fair.
Yes. There is 28 days left, and it is already funded. And if you haven't seen it, there's videos and stuff for Etherstream to show how the gameplay works. Cool. So it's worth checking that out if you're interested. It will not be for everyone. But in these days of, I'm going to turn a dial and that will show me what stick to put in front of my thing. Just the cleanness of using hexes, target numbers just appeals to me so much.
Hex is better than squares.
Hex better than squares all the time.
And always better than circles.
Oh, 100%. 900%. Also, my Babylon 5 fleets are all based on hexes.
There you go.
Because it was for the full.
This was the real reason for me to put this in, because I was like, hey, maybe this will nudge Jerry to actually get his ships done.
What was it, Billion Suns you were looking to use that?
Yeah. There's going to be a second edition of that game coming out. So
there is. Shut up.
Whoopsie.
Shut up. Right. I think that wraps us up for another week.
Yes.
Hopefully we've tickled your fancy with a GW list. Bit of a weekend. What?
GW free.
You won't get those often. Enjoy it now. Watch it again. Go back to the start when this premiere ends. Just sit through and bask in new GW for a second time. Right. We shall return on Sunday for the Cult of Games XLBS over at OnTableTop.com. If you fancy joining us, feel free to join us. See what we're doing. See what we're talking about. Because we don't know.
I know.
He knows.
I'm not there.
He writes the running order. Nobody else reads it. we just arrive on the day and go, what? Who? Really? Wow.
You did a thingy stuff.
I suppose so. Otherwise, we'll be back again next Friday for more of the same.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, have a great week of gaming. Bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.